to adjust the sound settings. Give me a second.
Hello?
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you, Grump?
Well, I'm trying to stay out of trouble and still failing miserably at it, so I guess it's a good start for me to resume the story of my endless mode trek.
Hello.
Yep. So it's probably just a case of people popping in to give me hell because of the fact that I'm still crap at this game and doing stupid shit. But when push comes to shove, that's half the fun, right?
Yeah, I'll be making you company while playing Dragon Quest XI on the background.
You know, I never actually played any of the Dragon Quest games. How is it?
It's pretty decent. I play the 8 first, and it's enjoyable. It's the stereotypical JRPG story with the Toriyama sense of humor
And
and
Toriyama's
design.
sense of humor is generally interesting, for lack of a politer term.
Yeah, for example, the the there's a thing called Puff Puff, which is basically a parody of sexual activities. And literally, if you meet one of the so-called girls, you can have a Puff Puff section, which is basically a black screen with just saying puff 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 puff. One of them is actually funny because it's not the girl, it's her dad that comes in out of the other door and does it to you. It's basically a massage.
I think I saw a video of that a long time ago, and what I recall of it is that Puff Puff, specifically, is someone grabbing a pair of slimes and mooshing them against your cheeks, like they were
Yeah,
breasts.
that that's the Dragon Quest VIII version. You get into the brothel house where the girl actually does that to you. You have to keep your eyes closed.
To be fair, that's where the good hearty chuckle. So, at the
Yeah,
moment, I'm waiting on Steam exchangers, and at the moment, that means doing some research first to actually get them to where I want them to be. In this case, there is a research technology that gives you a discount on this, so it reduces the cost of the exchanges themselves. Another issue is simply the fact that the
nice.
work safety is kind of crap at the moment.
Well, that's not nice.
On the bright side, as you can see, the generator platform is starting to fill out because the foundations are in, and the major pipelines for the steam exchangers that are going to be in the basement are in.
Neat.
And as you can see over here, we have our hunters' hangars currently empty because they're all out and about doing shit, as well as 2 workshops, a couple of care house, couple of children's creches, and the roadway up to our newest mine. This over here is a coal mine, and it's going to keep me very happy. Yay! Optimized prostheses, that's always good. Yep.
Are you building a generator?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
neat.
half of the fun.
I thought it. I
It's
thought
part of the
the.
it's part of the builder mode that came out with the last autumn expansion. In this case, the
Mhm.
site is a emergency site that everyone expected to be up and running, but the generator had exploded due to unrest and sabotage. So we had to tear down the original generator and rebuild it from scratch. And so far, I've had 3 major blizzards, and people have ended up with somewhere in the ballpark of 70 amputees.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Well, at the same time, it's
uh,
worth a good hearty and evil chuckle on my part because the fact that honestly, at some point, I stopped caring about them.
ouch.
Yeah, I know, I'm evil. So, anyway,
uh,
the machine shop is what we currently have built, and we need to get redesigned templates down here, which means safety improvements kind of important. So that'll take 10 hours in game.
okay.
Another thing we can do as I slowly accumulate more steel is continue adding bridges to various bits and bobs. So I can do things like collect these steam cores over here, or, well, collect all of these resources over here, collect these resources, and just generally expand outwards so I can have a thriving mega city instead of a thriving almost city, you know?
Yeah.
Now, another thing is that the machine shop, because it's an industrial site, has to deal with toxic gases. Oh, my scouts just arrived at their first destination. So it's a waypoint. Let's explore it and see what we find. We found an icy maze. So, the icy maze is 1 day and 2 hours away, so let's head over there. At the moment, we do have a debuff, strong winds, which will resolve in just under 5 days. Our scout teams and transports are 50% slower. This is worrying because scout teams are generally what keeps entire cities alive most of the time.
Yeah. I
Now,
remember that from the last time Cool Guys
yeah.
streamed.
Now, my factory here, I've actually just finished building a whole whack of prostheses. So, well, that's strange. I still have 53 amputees, so let's see what's going on with those. Okay, so
Am I echoing?
no, you're not. Okay, so most of these idiots are in a care house, and we have one in treatment for being sick. So that's odd. It's like I had an order of 53 prostheses already in the pipeline. Now I have 0 up here, but there should be, well, obviously more in the pipe for the, well, yeah, you know. Anyway, my hope is not bad, but it's not great at the moment. I have no discontent because people are happy-ish.
Mm-hmm. And
in general, it's just very much a case of seeing what I can do with what I have available. Okay, so, yeah, I now have only 52 amputees. Huzzah! Now, my cookhouse over here is not operating because the storage limit is reached, which is surprising me because I didn't expect it to actually reach the storage limit. So let's see what we can do about fixing that. I have a large resource depot here. Let's add 1,800 food rations to the maximum.
okay. I think I am prepared to face the boss at the moment.
So, I just finished the safety improvements research and now I have redesigned templates available, which reduces the cost by 20%, which is 4 steel, so that adds up, and time required to make them by 50%. That's the important thing.
Okay.
So, because I know that people are going to end up being amputees, I'm actually starting to build a stockpile of prostheses instead of just hanging on to what I have. So, because, well, you know, proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Okay, so we have, looks like 5 bridge sites we can access at the moment. And I'm kind of feeling like just pruning those trees just for gits and shiggles, but instead I'm actually going to build the bridge over here so I can gain access to these 2 resource sites. This one is the important one.
Map.
Yeah, this one is the important one because the steam core transport carries steam cores, duh. And steam cores are, well, they're a unrenewable resource. You cannot build more of them. You have to find them. And steel wreckage is always nice. Okay, so these guys have found the ice needles. Let's see what they find. Oh, mountain glacier and a research camp nearby, so let's head on. 16 hours away from the research camp, let them head on. It's probably full of engineers. So, other than the steel wreckage and steam cores, there's some trees here, and that's about it. So, it's a nice little nook to tuck some buildings away and after that. Meanwhile, over here we have a fighting arena, we have a church, and we have a bunch of housing because, well, I started tearing down old housing to make way for new buildings and such that I need to put in.
Tell me if my TV is sounding too loud.
I can't hear your TV at all.
Nice. Oh, this is tricky.
So at the moment, my only real resource constraint is steel, because I only have 2 advanced steelworks. These are the most advanced steelworks in the game. They allow up to 130 steel per standard workday, which is very impressive. But when push comes to shove, that's only 260 steel per workday. It's not exactly ideal in the long run, but at the same time, it's better than in the short run, when I would have a steel input of 0.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that hope score, and I'm feeling like I should, say, deal with that a little bit. Like, say, with some sermons and ceremonial services and evening prayers, because I have a cult going on here.
Evil cult?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll see.
Have you gone far into the retreat to get an inquisition?
Oh, yeah. So, as you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see, in the Book of Laws, I have maxed out adaptation. I have signed every law possible, including the unsavory ones, like dueling and House of Pleasure. This is because I have no morals in this, because I'm an evil bastard.
Okay.
In purpose,
Okay.
which is religious faith and all, the only thing I have left is the new faith, which requires the generator to be built. Because in order to establish the new faith, you have to burn heretics in the excess steam. Yeah. Some heretics will die. Some people will feel compelled to fight this law. Some of them will die.
Is there anything else after that?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I have a graveyard with 5 idiots in it. Sucks to be them.
Okay. Wait a second.
Now, I have to admit, one thing I really like about this game is the fact that developers took the time to actually move the people around in order to do construction and stuff. But resource production, like, say, steel or wood or coal or whatever, it doesn't actually need the people to fully arrive at the building before they start producing. It just needs them assigned and moving to, well, get to it instead of going to eat or whatever. So that's something that's greatly appreciated because it allows a large amount of freedom and resource and deployment. It also means that you can't game the system like, say, dumping everyone you have into hunters' huts, harvesting a whole bunch of meat overnight, and then setting them all to work immediately, because the game takes that into account and says, yes, they're resting from hunting, you're going to wait a while.
You can keep talking. My mother's just going to wash her head here. It's going to make a lot of noise, so I'm muting myself. But I'm listening.
Yep, and good times had for all, huh? Oh, for the love. Well, that was stupid of me. Yeah, I think I'll just send people out there to do it the hard way. Sucks to be them. So, let's see now. All I need is... well... oh wait, I should finish the research first. I almost had it done, but I didn't realize it was not done yet. Because I have the brains of a potato. So I've decided to just set overtime work on the steelworks because I need the extra steel.
Go to work. Lord, be with us as we labor today.
Survivors! Okay, so let's see what we have here. Yeah, sent to do basic research, miracle they survived, so on, cut off from supplies, tired, hungry, and ready for as they put it, a change of surroundings. 18 engineers. Let's escort them to my city. Because that's going to be useful. A tip from a believer. This has a daily event, because righteous denunciation is a law. Told us they overheard her neighbors talking about hoarding food and supplies. We'll follow that lead. Some supplies will be recovered. No, they won't. You see, that only happens when discontent is up, and frankly, it's not that up, so people aren't stealing shit and hoarding it for themselves in preparation of escaping or whatnot. Because people believe that we have their right motivations in mind for them. You know, even though I'm an evil jackass. So it should take an estimation of 8 hours to extract both steam cores, potentially. Let's see. The icy maze has steel and coal. Yoink. Found an empty cave and a lone boulder too. Found a small sled, probably abandoned by someone who got lost in the maze. So let's see what we have. The empty cave, only thing standing out. Lone boulder, only thing standing out. Let's go to the cave. 21 hours away. Now, if we check my economy over here, we will see that for housing conditions, I have 179 vacant beds, of which 17 are in care houses. This is important because that means that every one of my citizens are fully housed, and I have 57 houses built, so I have a full capacity of 570 inhabitants. The three care houses are, well, slowly getting pruned of people because they're mostly amputees, and, well, we can deal with amputees with prostheses. Otherwise, as you can see, for housing, we generally have a whole bunch of houses, most of them not entirely packed. At the moment, as you can see, our current toxicity level is high with the toxic gas concentration, so we're not going to be doing much here yet. What I am going to be doing is starting to allocate, for lack of a better term, more materials and supplies into this to start building steam exchangers as soon as I reasonably can. Also, at some point, I need to build a second cookhouse because I am dealing with an abundance of raw food, a less abundance of cooked food, and honestly, it's just very much a case of everything's being crammed full, so let's just build up a cookhouse. Or more accurately, find a spot to put the bloody thing because this place is getting kinda packed, as you can see. So, let's see. And over here would do nicely, but I'm feeling slightly spiteful and all, so instead we will drop this cookhouse over here on the arse end of nowhere next to a wall drill. And for generator construction, we can build the foundry. We are going to do that now, even though we are not going to be utilizing it for a while, because it's going to be vastly important in the near future. And again, we're going to immediately grab the innovative process upgrade, which reduces the cost of material cost of steel composites and the time required to make them. Mild frostbite, a citizen became ill. That is these suckers over here, because it is very cold over here. So they can survive dealing with being treated and not losing their toes. Once that's done, I'll probably just build a sawmill, clear out the wood, you know, the usual. I do have an abundance of infirmaries, mostly because of the fact that, well, they are vastly important in this sort of game, where without the generator up and running, everyone has to deal with it being minus 40 as a casual temperature outside, and in 2 days it'll be minus 50, and in 2 days after that it'll be minus 60, so you know it adds up. And the destroyed steam core transport has been depleted. I am up to 3 steam cores from 1, and the steel wreckage is plugging along pretty quickly. It is 1650, so let's extend the working hours on that to let them have enough time to actually clear that out. So, 3 hours, 15 steel. Yeah, that's about right. And as usual, I am adding 2 large resource depots because of the fact that, well, the added resources will be incredibly important. If I recall correctly, there actually is an achievement for being able to stockpile greater than 10,000:5,000 food in your city. In fact, let me double check that. I'll just pop up the Steam overlay like so, hit view all achievements, and scroll down a bit. As you can see, I have a lot that's not really done per se. Bleh, brain fart. It has been a long time since I've actually dug through the achievements, so I'm just going to do a quick poke and a prod. As you can see, I am rusty as hell. Yeah, Autonomous City is an achievement that I can easily get later, but... I don't remember where it is. It's probably a hidden achievement. Never mind that. And our innovative process is now complete, so... While this is optional, the ventilation plant provides the construction site with fresh air, improving safety in all workplaces, but it uses 25 coal per hour. I'm going to do the research for it, but I'm not going to build one, because I'm an asshole. Evening prayers, united by faith, brought the community together. I'm glad to hear that, because I'm a leader of a cult. And I'm just dropping...
back.
Welcome back. How you doing? I'm just dropping a steam sawmill over here to clear out these trees in short order. And I'm, well, preparing to do mad science in the short future.
Well, I just got lucky. I'm fighting a mini boss that I have to complete a quest, and I just managed to get the party members that I needed to get what pepped up, which is kind of a super move, super state that they get randomly to perform a combo move, which is kind of neat. Basically, turn the one character into basically werewolf mode. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, at the moment, as you can see, I'm just slowly working on processing all of the stray resources floating about into resources I own, and building massive stockpiles to actually contain the bloody things. I do have steel composites in the pipeline for construction, however, which means that in the following morning, when the current toxicity drops a tick, I will start feeding people into here and letting them suffer for me.
Man, that mini boss was not a joke.
I mean, you know it's a fun game when the mini-bosses can kick your ass and the bosses are chumps.
Well, I am technically, according to the walkthrough, at the recommended level to do this part.
And why are you reading a walkthrough?
Mostly because I don't want to miss the treasure chest. I'm just
so you're not confident in your observational ability.
Mostly because this thing has a lot of hidden chests and things.
So I think this chunk of land here will become housing in the future. As you can see, this sawmill will clear out all of these trees, so I'll be happy about that. 2025 lumber. Okay, my scouts have returned to the city with 18 engineers, so that'll be some nice news. And we can just send them right back out because I'm still an evil jackass. So, let's see. The mountain glacier is 2 days and 12 hours away, or if I go to the ice needles first, about 1 day, I'm going to the broken tree instead. So, those engineers that came in, a lot of them were either grossly sick or needing palliative care, because I now have 9 people in palliative. Well, I think I'm going to need more storage space for raw food. Okay, so my coal storage is 11,700. I will have to add to that shortly. Wood storage is 3,900. Steel storage is 2,100. Food processing, I can currently contain 3,000 full meals and 2,550 raw food. As for health, well, I have 25 citizens in treatment, 2 untreated, and 0 deaths, so I'm doing something right. As for housing, yep, 469 housed, vacant beds 161, 26 of which are in care houses. That's out of 60 in the care houses, so it's slightly concerning.
Okay.
I do appreciate the aesthetics of the Hunter's hangars because they just look kind of cool, and each Zeppelin has a different design for each hangar. This dipshit here is sick, and he's going to go and build instead of going to actually, well, be treated for sickness.
Workaholic.
Or just a dipshit. Okay, so let's add some more coal to this massive stockpile we can have. Scouts found the empty cave. Let's see what's in it. No, search hasn't uncovered anything of value, but we may be able to reach more promising locations. A lone automaton and a frozen pond. Okay, so let's see. A lone automaton, standing still amidst the whiteness, and a frozen pond. Only thing standing out in the endless desert. Well, let's go to the automaton. The issue with the automatons is quite simply that they have a 12-hour power supply, and you need the generator in order to refuel them. So, this is going to be fun. Okay, so work safety here is dangerous, but I don't give a flip about their survivability in the short term or long term, so I'm going to get people starting to work on building me some steam exchangers.
A new workday starts in the name of God.
Now, the foundry, steel composites require steel and coal. With the 20% reduction from the research that's going on, that will be 16 steel and about 32 coal per composite. So that's why you need coal production set up during this, before you have the generator up and running. Also, the machine shop is toasty at a very comfortable, well, let me turn off the heater, and it's still only mildly chilly, so low risk of getting ill. But with the machine shop on, you get to see its animation, which is not bad. As you can see, it takes from the Bessemer forge, pours it into a mold, and just goes along and through the conveyor system into the building itself for specialized work like milling.
Yeah. The game just forced me to make camp.
Hello there, how you doing?
Hello.
Having fun, I see.
How are you guys
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing alright. So, I just unlocked the access to the ventilation plant, but there can only be one of those, and I'm too lazy to build one.
Ah, shit, where's...
Instead, let's set
John
up the
Clancy.
tower pumps. So the tower pump icon, as you can see, is just a set of 3 units that is built up here, but most of it is underground. And we are now temporarily out of steam exchangers.
Oh no.
So, as you can see, the work safety here is kind of no. It is deadly, it is extremely dangerous, don't do it. Instead, we will wait until the machine shop is done building steam exchangers, and then we will just wait a day for the current toxicity to drop a level. Because I don't mind making people work in dangerous conditions, but deadly conditions? No. Why, yes, I am an evil monster. I openly admit it. And this sawmill is done, so I can destroy it.
Okay. I also engage in the destruction of. Well, what do you consider a sawmill anyway?
Well, in this case, the sawmill is what is used to convert trees into lumber. So, the...
Not what I was looking for, but okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I just misclicked.
Yeah, that'll get you every time, won't it?
Yeah.
So I'm actually building a second sawmill just to deal with this last little clump of trees here, but it's a regular sawmill instead of a steam sawmill, so people will suffer. Because I'm an asshole.
Yay, suffering.
Well, it's like the Buddhist philosophy. Everything is suffering. And over here, this sawmill's doing quite well, plugging away at these trees. Only 1,100 trees left there. Coal mines are happy. Ah, that's what I was waiting for. Additional scouts researched.
Time to rest. Remember those who worked overtime in your prayers.
And now we can send a third set of scouts out. In this case, Scouts Unit number 4, because one of my scouts units in the previous storm got caught in the storm and died. Horribly. Ha 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 ha.
What the fuck?
Hey B man, I'm getting a bit of static.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah, it sounds better. It's just I was concerned because usually you have your system set to push to talk, and it sounds like it's not working.
No, I do have it to push to talk. No, I don't. No, I don't. What am I talking about?
Shenanigans, right?
It is done.
There you are. So that should do better all round. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish off these little bits and bobs, like gathering post insulation and such. It's not really needed per se, but at the same time, I'm being a completionist to get, so why the hell not? That was a big avalanche, because when you look at it, I mean, this is my furthest outlying building, and it's a coal mine, obviously, so good times had by all. And right next to it is just this massive amount of snow cutting right into this crevasse, right down to the generator itself. That is a huge avalanche.
Is that a face?
Yeah, I mean, it might resemble a face at some angles, but I don't think so.
It reminds me of the Mars face that we had like decades ago.
What, when the Viking probes went to Mars and explored?
Yep. And there was a face. There wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that.
The truth is, there was no face. It's just because the quality of the photos, the cameras, were actually not that good. So
Well, I mean, they were good at
yeah,
they were good at the time. It's just it turned out to be not as good as it could have been per se, because we weren't expecting, well, that, you know. Okay, so I have 115 lazy lumps sitting around, so I may as well build some extra hunter's huts and make certain that our food supply is secure. Well, in this case, hunter's hangars, so they're a bit expensive when it comes to dealing with certain resources.
Quit.
And I just realized I'm out of steel. Fuck. You okay there?
Yeah, I'm almost did a boo-boo. A giant one.
A poo-poo or a boo-boo?
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Because if you had a poo-poo accident, well,
We'd make sure you'd never
I'm
live
just
it
happy you
down.
didn't have an accident that was frowned.
Okay.
Because we're horrible evil jerks.
What aren't you doing anyway?
Playing Dragon Quest 11.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you gonna get back to that series of fights that you had going on
Amalur.
between us all? Huh?
Amalur? Oh, the Soul Calibur? Yeah, I'm just waiting on Cool Guy to finish up recording all the stuff for Neo, so we can get
All free
everything.
time. Got it. Okay, I won't bug you too much about it or at all.
No, everything's recorded. I just need the voice clips, the reactions. Cool Guy and Last Robot Guy to the fights.
Just getting canned reactions.
Well, I mean,
Just take God damn it and paste it on every fight.
that could work
Not that
temporarily.
Temporarily.
No, it's more. I need to catch laughter from these two because that's the fun thing about these fights is to see the reactions.
Hey, guess what? Good news. I no longer have amputees.
Yay!
Stop killing the amputees.
I'm not killing them. I gave them prostheses, so they can work. And then they
Ice
can die while
prostheses?
working. No, steel prostheses.
That's not good, dude.
Especially when it's minus 40.
It's gonna drain all the body heat from their bodies, and then they're gonna die. Except actually, it's like you haven't even watched for Full Metal Alchemist.
I refuse to watch Full Metal Alchemist because I am only mostly a jerk, and because of the fact that I find it funny to torment people with Nina memes.
Did you just say enema memes?
Nina. You know, that cute little girl that ends up being horribly mutated by her father and hybridized with her dog.
You mean the one that has a
The one that says
horrible abusive father who turns her into a monster for the sake of money? No, I never heard of her.
Yes, you have. You're just
Yes, you have.
desperately
You just
trying
described
to
her
avoid it.
perfectly.
That was love, beginner's luck.
Sure.
So as you
I
can see, I'm
actually
just
saw
adding more
both
Hunter's
versions
Hangers here,
of
so
Full
good
Metal
times.
Alchemists.
Both versions.
Yeah, there's a
the Brotherhood
2000
and the
version,
other-
and there's a later version that's closer to the manga. The first version that came out, the first anime that came out was still pretty good. It just ended up doing its own thing.
Yeah.
So work safety is still
Also
kind of
has
crap
the-
here, but that's okay.
Also has the girl turning into a monster. So
Oh, yeah, that's like, it's in the beginning, and it's Ed and Al's big adventure into how horrible can human beings be.
Another righteous denunciation, but if I had actual discontent, I'd actually get supplies, but sucks to be them.
You kind of do have discontent. I'm looking at this thing right now.
it's a small amount.
What is North Korea?
Well, most
Why
of
are
the
you going
discontent
North
is
Korea?
because it's cold.
I'm discontent right now because it's cold. God damn it, Soldar.
Oof.
What's the temperature outside anyway?
It is currently minus 50.
No, not you. Not your video game. About the cold. $58 degrees outside. An American.
58 in American, so about 10 degrees.
Okay.
Is that the case?
No, I'm exaggerating slightly. Okay, all of my scouts have reached their destinations, and construction is constructing in here at 118% efficiency because one person's going to eat. Lazy git. So, first off, these guys, they're at Ice Needles. I want them to go to the Mountain Glacier, which will take them 1 day and 4 hours instead of 2 days and 12 hours.
14
Broken
degrees.
Tree, explore. What do we find? A ruined hut, and that's it.
Is there anything we can pick up from there?
Not this time.
Ah, shit.
Third destination, the lone automaton. Serious malfunction, might be able to salvage something. Steel, coal, and steam cores. Yay, steam cores.
Alright, that's good. We can salvage that.
Yep. I mean, I have to admit, I really like the design of the automatons, because they're just these spindly-legged motherfuckers that sit on top of buildings and work for you. So, partially dismantled. 134 steel? 3 steam cores. Yoink. That was good loot. Okay, so head these guys back to the empty cave, 14 hours away, then head them up to either the frozen pond or the lone boulder. It's just madly off in every direction at the moment, as you can tell. Now, of course, the big thing here with tower pumps is that this is all technically subterranean. Oh, 2 people died. I wonder why. Work accidents! Sucks to be them! It says a lot about my opinion of the people in the game when I just go, yeah, sucks to be them when they die.
You do
Okay.
that a lot.
Well, yeah, because it's not me dying. Healthcare insulation. This is important. I'm going to get it.
Healthcare insulation?
Yeah,
Does
it's...
that mean like it's free healthcare?
No, it's additional insulation to keep the healthcare buildings like the infirmary or medic tent warmer. Because if they get too cold, they stop operating.
No one cares about that.
Okay, so let's see. At the moment, I am gaining 2,500 coal a day, and I am consuming 929 a day with 36 heaters. One of my coal mines does not yet have a shrine nearby, so let's go fix that. Oh wait, it actually... Oh, that's why there's 2 people absent.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, we have 35 engineers free, and technically nowhere to put them, but let's see what we can do about fixing that. Because I need to free up some laborers to, you know, actually get some extra bodies just in case more people die while building the stuff in the generator pit. And 13 hours left on the progress to build the tower pumps. It is now only dangerous instead of absolutely fucking lethal because of the protective structures. Good times.
Yay!
Also, as you can see, I actually have over 3,000 food at the moment, which will last me about a week.
Nice.
So yeah, the reason why is because my cookhouses are stupidly efficient. Because efficiency breakdown, one employee delivers 20%, plus 4% for working near a shrine, plus the 48% for the kitchen helpers, which was an event that I picked up due to having a bunch of amputees sitting around with their thumbs up their butts.
Thank you, Lord.
Okay. I think that will be. Dang it. These motherfucking misclicks. Wow. 400, dude. That's it, all hell.
Now, there is something that can be done in endless mode that I have chosen not to do. Rushed construction. This finishes the current construction stage, but it causes problems once the generator is put to use. If you get too many of these, the generator can actually explode on you. There is an achievement for getting all of them rushed and still using the generator anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, looks like Hope is feeling a little bit down, and as you can see, we've had exposed sins with a grand total of one person getting some food hidden, and that's it. So let's do a sermon and a bit of evening prayers and make people happy for the cost of 40 food. And 2 people are being buried, because sucks to be them. On day 44, the temperature goes up by 2 levels, so instead of being minus 60, it'll be back to minus 40, and then I can turn off the heaters. I actually managed to hurt my shoulder the other day, and it's been bothering me all since, so that's concerning of me.
What did you do?
I was doing some hard labor and shoveling of stuff for a friend, working on their garden and all that.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What
Enjoying
do
the
you do?
evening. Just working my shoulder to get some aches and pains out.
Okay.
If you look carefully at the generator construction pit, you'll actually see that there's cobblestones set up around it, instead of just steel plating over the actual pit. So that's kind of cool.
I can't really see it on account of the detail of the stream.
Well, if you want, I could probably up the bitrate, but then you'd have even more problems staying attuned to it, so...
You do what you believe.
Well, I do my best to try and make everyone happy, even if I can't make anyone happy. My scouts have arrived at their destination of the empty cave, and let's toss them off to the frozen pond, 19 hours away. I do like the beacon. It is such a useful thing, and hey, if people die, well, it sucks to be them, right? Because they didn't run away from the storm fast enough.
You should have been faster.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we have 18 people going to treatment, 1 person going to eat, efficiency is down to 74%, and it keeps on ticking down. But hey, we're only 5 hours away from being done. So this is our original stockpile here. I kind of forgot it was there, you know? Come on, they're almost there. They're almost there. 4 hours away. They should be done by 9 in the morning. Okay, with healthcare installation done, let's do infirmary checklists, actually. Infirmaries will heal people 15% faster. Because, well, kind of obvious why we need that with 26 sick absences at my major workplace.
Because the cult must feed.
Well, that and I kind of want it done before the toxic level goes up again.
Okay.
Worship begins. May the Lord
2 hours left.
Less
1
than an hour now.
left.
98%.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. It's just gonna be up soon, it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
0.
With the foundations in place, it is time to build the heart of the generator, the core. It will have to be enclosed within support frames, which will also hold up the external parts.
So it's not gonna be an apple core?
No, this is almost literally the beating heart of the generator.
Shit, I forget that line in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Man, I haven't seen Indiana Jones in years. So, the core itself needs
I'll have to leave
steel
for
composites.
now.
Take care of yourself,
take
okay?
care.
Okay.
So I could build the support frames. These are the, well, essentially the skeleton of which the rest of the generator is built around. And I need steel composites for the actual core. So here the power of superheated steam will be divided to 100 streams and harnessed to run pumps, light the city, heat its homes, and animate its factories. And of course, support frames carrying the weight of the rest of the generator. So let's just drop the support frames into place, but not actually do anything with them yet. Okay, found the ruined hut. Let's see. Nothing of value. May be able to reach some more promising locations. A small cairn and a ruined observatory are nearby. So, pile of stones topped with a flagpole, ragged pennant, or an observatory no longer in use judging by its state. Let's go to the cairn first. It's further away, and we kind of want to get the further away stuff done fast, because otherwise we end up with people being frozen to death on their run back to the city. Okay, so I actually need to get these steel composites research, so that'll be next on the list. Let's just accelerate time a little bit, because now it's just waiting for numbers to tick up and kind of look at the impressive detail and all of the generator being generatory. So, that's
It's
odd.
going pretty generatory.
Not
I'm
my
happy
mistake.
with
We
this
actually have the
progress.
innovative process complete, so I'm just going to get optimized protection over here done.
What does optimized protection cover?
Optimized protection costs less of these structural profiles to build a protective structure.
No, I mean, like, what does it cover?
I mean, I
what-
just told
what,
you. I mean, I just said what it covers. It's very much a case of it's a safety unit, so it improves the safety during construction by 1 level, but it currently costs 6 structural profiles to build one. With the improved version, it only costs 4 profiles.
Alright. Okay, I'm sorry. I misheard you. My apologies.
That's okay, it happens. Okay, found a cave at the foot of the mountain glacier, some signs of past human presence, coal and wood, specifically. Okay, modest amount of supplies, bad ideas will collapse sooner rather than later. We decided to rescue the supplies. 106 coal, 106 wood. Yoink! And we found a barren hollow, so let's go onwards.
Yeah, this place looks creepy.
Well, to be fair, it's supposed to look creepy.
So what is the current goal now?
The
Get
current
that
goal
generator
is
up and
to...
running?
Well, That's the overarching goal, but the heart of the generator. So in this case, the generator core and the support frames that will be used to support the actual main structure.
Wait, I remember now. Kalima.
No.
Kali. Okay. Um, so it looks like everything's pretty much set, and this um, sawmill can go away now.
That's right. In fact, I just finished ordering its dismantling and the dismantling of the road along its path.
It'll be like it never existed.
Well, except for the
Except for
crater in the
briefly.
snow until the snow fills it in. In fact, as you can see, the snow's already filling in the hole that the sawmill was in. And this is one of the subtler details of the game, because you don't normally watch the snow fill in a hole like this, but it's kind of cool seeing it. Because as you can see, as the last person walks away, the snow is slowly filling in behind him.
It's a nice effect. I like it.
Yep, it's one of those things that the game does really well, and I greatly appreciate it as a result of that, because it's just proof that developers have so much passion for the game that they went to all the effort to make all those extra details that nobody really cares about. I really need those steam cores. Yeah, so optimized protective structure cost is reduced to 4 profiles instead of keeping it at 6. As you can see, I have completed heating, because all I have is advanced heaters. Exploration and industry, I've completed all that. Resources, we still have stuff in here to do. Let's see, efficient gathering we could do, or... oh, I know, the advanced wall drill. Also known as my infinite wood supply. And the frozen pond, let's explore, see what we find. Let's see, nothing of value, but if you look for more promising locations, and snow-covered supplies is a promising location, so let's go there. 18 hours away, small visible mounds with a regular shape. Crates. Now, as you can see with 3 scout teams, it makes it a lot more efficient and a lot faster to actually explore everything in the Frostland. So, the next day, the temperature will drop by a level. Good times. Not. So I am seriously considering putting in another building, in this case the ventilation system, which means I'll probably drop it in, over here, or, well, I can't drop it in there at all because of the edge of the cliff, or over here, which means shit's gonna have to be torn down.
You know, this reminds me of a story.
Oh.
Not a shitposty story.
So, how does it remind you of a story?
It's well, part of it is this like the expeditions you guys go on.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of the story. The setting reminds me of the story, but it's mostly because this takes place in Alaska. The story takes place in Alaska. It's a story I read when I was a child in grade school. I don't remember much of the details of the story, but I can kind of go over what it was about, right?
Yeah, sure.
There's this small child, and he lives on a farm with his grandfather. But this grandfather is advanced in age, as one would be.
Also known
Um,
as fucking old.
yeah, doesn't, he isn't able to make the money he needs to keep his 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 farm and his home. He's gonna lose it soon. Uh, and so meanwhile, the boy and his good dog uh, find a paper, uh, an advertisement, right, for a race in the nearby area. And I don't remember what, but basically the end result was that if he won that race, if the kid won that race, he would be able to save his grandfather's farm. There was one problem though, in that there is a well-known Native American who who has made it well known that he intends to join this race. And this guy's intense because like any race he goes into, he wins. He's a damn good racer, and he's using all that money to save his land, his people's land. And it's like, oh shit. Well, not oh shit because it's a story for children, but um,
It's oh shit
it,
because he has a cause and it's a good cause. It's just a case of you kind of feel bad as a result of the competition being, well, it's very much a matter of
yep,
two good
I'm
causes
saying
fighting against each other.
no matter what, someone loses a chance to keep their home, right? So the boy, he and his good dog, they train the hell out for this race, and they're doing a real good job of it, right? I don't remember the details again, but basically what happens is um, they go on the race, and all these pros come in, right? And they got all like the sledding gear and all these dogs, and this kid shows up and he's got a very small sled and one dog, and everyone's looking at it like, kid, you really expect to do anything with this? Right? But that's before the race starts, and the race starts, and then like, boom, like
Oops,
it's
I made
all
a
in.
minor mistake.
The minor mistake is underestimating a kid who's really willing to do a lot of things to save his home. Right?
No,
He
in this
wants.
case, the minor mistake is look at all those red icons.
Oh, geez, what the hell? What
Road got
happens?
severed during construction.
Oh God. Oh man. I'll get to my story back in a bit. Just fix your thing. You gotta find out where you broke it too.
Oh, I've already fixed it. You just weren't paying
Oh yeah.
attention.
Sorry, I was thinking about the story.
I know, I'm just taunting you because I can.
So like I was saying, uh, kid's doing really well. Like, he's pulling up the first place too. But remember that Native American I was talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, he was just kind of doing his thing, just doing his own thing, right? Whatever, this is cool. But then all of a sudden, it's go time, and he just starts moving like, well, if like it was a car, you'd be like, boom. But since it's a dog, and a lot of dogs, it's going woof woof, pant pant pant, la la la. So
Oh shit, I accidentally hit Alt Tab. Give me a second.
okay.
Sorry about that. Whoops on my part.
Just trying to get out of my story. So so at the end of the race, right? Like they're neck and neck, and uh, a Native American guy is pulling through, and the kid, he's trying his hardest. He's trying his damned hardest, dude. But like, as soon as he pushes past the Native American, uh, the sled flips and overturns, and it's because his dog just kind of suffered a heart attack and died. So now the
Yeah,
kid
I
is
can
just
see
kind
why you'd
of
be distraught about that, because nobody likes having a pet die.
No, no, it was an incredibly messed up moment right here. Like everyone's kind of shut up about it. Like the audience, uh, the commentators, just a lot of people have shut up about it. And then like he, the boy crawls to his dog, right, and he's trying to wake her up, but she's not gonna be awake anymore, right? She's gone. And then the Native American, he walks up just kind of slowly, right? And he looks down at this kid and his dog, right? He has literally nothing in his way to save his family's home, right? So then like what he does is he goes back to his sled and he pulls out a gun. Right? And you know where this is going?
I have an idea, but feel free to continue.
Basically, he walks up to the kid, motions the kid to his dead dog, and tells him, go. And then he walks forward past the kid, cocks his gun, and like, anyone comes past me is gonna get a bullet.
Yeah, that's about the idea I was expecting. It's not quite as cynical as you might consider, but at the same time, it's just very much a case of the honor of.
Holy fuck, dude.
What do you mean, holy fuck?
Yeah, like, dude is gonna blast somebody for like. It's just very intense, okay? This moment is very intense. Like, this dude is now like, has said, if you dare pass me, I will kill you to ensure this child wins.
Yeah, so here's a bit of a comparison. I clicked on the lone boulder from here, 1 day, 12 hours. To the empty cave, though,
Okay.
because I've been there, 13 hours. And then I can go from the empty cave to the lone boulder in about 12 hours. So I'm just saving myself 14
That's-
hours there.
Yeah, do that then.
It's a matter of finding your efficiencies any way you can in this game.
I like it. So yeah, that was my story. Kid is to save his home, thanks to this guy who decided to,
Oh, look at that.
Right,
I found a
go ahead.
third coal deposit.
oh, you did?
Yeah, I can plant a coal mine over here. On this far edge of the ridge, overlooking a massive fucking chasm, at the ass end of nowhere. Good times.
How do you, like, kind of get all the coal away from the rock?
That's what the coal mine is for.
No,
Because this
I
thing...
meant like in sort of like,
Yeah, for example, this little fucker is sitting on top of a coal vein, so it just does the work for me. I don't need to know the how and the why, I just know it works. But on the bright side, at least I have a better understanding of it just works compared to, say, a certain Todd Howard.
it just works.
You mean it just doesn't? Okay, so let's see. Things to do now. Ah, there we are. Advanced wall drill. 40 wood, 80 steel, 3 steam cores. Well, I'm short steam cores, but I can just drop this and there, and this on there, and I'm out of steam cores, but now I have the best wall drills in the game. Ah, these are cold. Well, let's see what we can do about fixing that, because people are whining. And the steam sawmill is plugging along happily, dealing with that pile of wood. And over here, well, let's see. Cairn might be a landmark, might be a cache or a grave. Coal and raw food. Okay, turns out Cairn is a grave and a cache. We firmly believe the supplies are left for whomever finds themselves in need, and not for the explorer's journey in the afterlife. We took them and reassembled the cairn. And onwards to a rock spire, 18 hours away. So I do have a ventilation plant now operating, just to increase the air circulation and reduce the danger level in the various areas. So in this case, the it's only dangerous instead of deadly in most of the construction.
The day's labor is done. Thank you all.
I'm just going to keep it operating for a bit because I believe... No, I had the foundry set to 8 to 18, so that's good. I can turn this off. Never mind. So it's from 8 in the morning to 6 p.m. And it will just plug along like that automatically without having anyone in it.
Forever.
And I only need 3 more steel composites to build the core.
So is this how, like, Optimus Prime is made?
Not quite. In the case of a transformer like Optimus Prime, you would have the body completely built, and then you would install the spark, which is essentially their soul or their core or whatever you want to call it. I'm just bumping up hope because I can. Also because the higher hope is, the happier people are. So, what can I say? I'm not going to complain about that, you know?
I don't know, people didn't like it so much in Final Fantasy 13. In fact, it turns out that the less hope it was, the better people liked it.
I have a pointy stick and you have a nose.
And I also have like 1,000 kilometers on you, so...
No, you don't.
Well, like, I don't know, like 600.
There you go. Oh, and they found the cracked ice, distinct spot in Frostland. Okay, new landmark. Found scattered sleds and an empty snow hut, so let's carry on and see what we can do about that. Well, the snow hut's closer, 13 hours versus 18 hours, so let's go to the hut first. As you can see, the weather is getting nastier out there in this Frostland. It is starting to get, well, quite literally cold and dark and dark and cold.
Ugh, I hate that weather, dude. Oh, no 4.
And as you can see, I'm getting the bridge built here to these 2 coal deposits and these steam cores. I'm actually starting to suffer from a overload of coal and not enough storage, so I'm going to have to remediate that with even more depots.
More depot.
And of course, now I actually need more wood for it, so that'll wait. Let's see, Steam Sawmill 1 is currently happy as a clam with 1,400 wood left in its area. Steam Sawmill 2 is looking to be 684. That's not bad at all. It will definitely be food.
It will definitely be food.
And here's the interesting thing. This is what the steam wall drill looks like. It is a fully enclosed heavy-duty building with a pressurized steam bolt here that in the official game, it would be on a flat surface here, so the bolt would be right up in there, instead of looking like it's slightly off to one side. Oh, we have 10 idiots oh, sick, my bad. We have 5 idiots that are hungry? Look at that. We have 3,017 fucking food, and we have 5 idiots that are hungry. What the shit?
It's because of this pile driving looking motherfucker.
No, they're just idiots.
Yeah, also that.
But the important thing is that with the advanced wall drill, I can produce 24 wood an hour, potentially. So 240 wood per standard workday. That is definitely nothing to sneeze at.
To sneeze at. I didn't hear if you finished your sentence, so I finished it for you.
Okay, just double checking to see if there's any extra uses of I can plant these little shrines are about for, because faith makes my workers work faster. But it looks to be good, so that's good.
So these things heat up what? Or do they even heat up, or are they just faithing? Hope increases.
The hope increases? Well, that's just a matter of, it keeps people happy and content to work and all that. So it's very much a case of getting people off my ass, for lack of a better term.
You're supposed to be fat, it's that many people are on it. Whoa. Give me a second.
1.
I'm back. The neighbors are having fun.
Okay, so we have currently 43 people being treated, because it's fucking cold out at minus stupid o'clock. It's minus 60 actually, so as you can see, the city is not exactly a warm and welcoming place. And there we are. That's the nice warming moment I wanted. Because all of a sudden everything goes from bloody cold to reasonably toasty without needing the heaters on. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Turn shit off that needs to be turned off and save power. So, good times. Doing, 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 doink, doink, doinkity, doinkity, doink, 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 and doink, and doink, 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 and doink. Oh, and two more doinks. There we are. So that's all of the heaters off.
Why?
Oh, except for that one. Because I don't need them on. It's only minus 40. The people will survive. It's only mildly chilly in their workplaces. In fact, for their homes, they're all comfortable and toasty warm, so they're happy. And in general, I can just laugh at anyone complaining about it being too cold. My fingers are numb. Wah. Suck off.
You know, I miss the days I used to have fingers.
But you still have fingers. Anyway, I got to the rock spire. That's what we found. A rocky slope. There appears to be diddly squad. So, let's go.
New landmark.
Now, here's the thing. Day 45, we get the alert that the storm is coming. We have until morning of day 47 before shit happens. At the moment, it is moderately toxic. So, let's see what we can do about fixing that.
Can you create face masks for your workers?
I mean, technically they already start with masks.
Nah, shit. You're not gonna have enough time. 4 days, 3 hours? That's gonna be longer than it took for the storm to ride in.
That is because there are 26 people absent out of the 30 people needed. So there's only 4 people working right now. And again, that's because, as you can see, going to rest after the hunt is a thing, because I removed 30 people from the hunting huts in order to allocate them to this. Okay, let's see. What else is on my to-do list? Oh, yes, Supercharge. Supercharge steam exchangers use like a site to speed up work on the generator. Each use advances work in progress by 10%, but costs 5 steam exchangers. So already we're getting more people crawling in because we're now up to 25 out of 30 absent. And so we have 9 people going to rest, 16 people actually resting, and there we are, bang, they're all done resting. And all of a sudden it goes from 3 days and a few hours to 12 hours. So that's only half of the framework, but at the same time it's still very important for the obvious reasons they're in. As you can see, you have support rods coming out from each part of the framework itself and the main construction scaffold, because these are the cranes that are actually working deep underground as well. As you can see, there's actually a fan apparatus here which will be underneath the core, with the core sitting right in the center. Scouts reach the lone boulder. Let's explore. Buried Hamlet and Ice Jaws. So the Ice Jaws, 18 hours away. Only thing standing out in the endless white desert. Some settlement half buried in snow. 17 hours away. Let's go there. Now that malice we had. Oh, one of our people died. Sucks to be them. Work accident. Oh well, too bad, so sad. I'm not going to complain too much. Don't worry, I'll be feeding children to the generator as soon as I can. So as you can see, I just turned on the ventilation plant here just to keep it going with the support frame under operation, because the support frame here is going 24 hours. Delicious caffeine. I feel better now. So with the next storm rolling in on day 47 and it being almost day 45, well, looks like the storm is actually going to last for a couple of days. It appears to last until at least day 49.
Shit. Does this mean that the work you had done before is reset?
No, it just means that any ongoing work I have is reset, but only on the generator construction. So I can place something and have it ready to be built as soon as the storm passes, but I won't actually have the, what's the term I'm looking for, the wherewithal required to actually need to rebuild things. So the game's nice like that.
I guess. Only 4 more hours left until it does its thing. That's good. A little bit.
Of course, that's only half of the support frame.
How do you increase? You gotta increase the safety in this area.
Well, I already have protective structures up, and I have ventilation plants up, and it's a base safety level of -1, so it's never going to be perfectly safe. The issue is quite simply the fact that there's toxic gases in the area, and I can't do much about that. Oh, scouts reached the scattered sleds. We found steam cores! Yay!
Yay.
3 cores and 106 wood. This expedition was attacked by polar bears, judging from the damage. Most of the bodies are dismembered, bones bear bite marks and signs of chewing. The animals are not interested in steam cores on the sleds. Yoink! And now I can go to the small airship.
Abandon the steam core.
Well, let's be fair. Polar bears are literally the only animal in the world that will consider humans a prey species. And
What
our
about
other
grizzly
scouts.
bears?
Grizzly bears do not consider humans to be a prey species. Okay, rocky slopes, some
What?
shapes covered in snow. Let's hope these are not bodies. Guess what? They're bodies. Nope. Crates and bags of supplies. Frozen lake ahead.
Oh boy.
Okay,
that was
normally I would continue pushing on, but honestly, the storm is coming, so I'm going to retreat to the ruined observatory, actually. Okay, so that's 22 hours to the ruined hut. 1 day, 16 hours to the observatory. Ruined hut first. Because there's a buff here. The expedition travels faster following a known route to a surveyed location. And 3 hours left on this. I'll just bump the time compression up a little bit so people move faster.
Selma, Grump.
Yes.
Just the tangent I want to ask you, right?
Yo.
How does Metro Exodus play on Steam?
Incredibly smoothly.
Really? Because I'm in terms of like the moving around and looking, right? The
Yes.
PS4 version, it's not that good.
Well, that's the
getting
issue with
other
console
ports.
control sensitivity.
They don't give me that much option to change it either. But also, I'm reading that like some people have say it feels like molasses.
That's because they haven't figured out how to adjust the control sensitivity. So as you can see, we now have half of the major structural frame up. As you can see, it's these massive units of scaffolding here, and well, the scaffolding is the wooden bits that the people were working on, but those metal frame components are even more important. And now let's just immediately toss people into the other side to get that going.
It looks like
So-
the storm's died off a
Yep.
little bit.
Okay, so we got a bit of discontent, mostly because of overcrowded medical facilities, because everyone jumps straight into the nearest medical facility, instead of the advanced ones that actually work.
Because people are dumb.
Storm on the horizon.
Yeah, shit.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, so
Shit.
in that case, it's time to say, cut our losses and run. 1 day and 8 hours.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
1 day and 5
Yeah,
hours. These guys are 1 hour and 53 minutes away from the buried hamlet, and then they're running home. So, it's day 45. On day 47, at 8 a.m., the storm will hit the city.
Work shift begins. May the Lord save all workers from harm.
Another tip from a believer saying that supplies will be recovered. I thumb my nose at that belief because, well, we know they're just sitting there with their thumb up their butt.
Yeah, but.
Yep, all sorts of buttery. But.
Now we just gotta wait for the people to come back home.
And we have survivors, so explore the area? Okay, mostly children. Shit.
Children. Ew.
However, there's 14 engineers and 56 workers, so mostly is an understatement with only 22 children, so let's escort them to the city.
why don't we escort the engineers and the workers to the city and escort the children to the frozen lake?
I wish. Anyway, as you can see, the storm's already creeping in, so I'm glad that I decided to set the orders to get them back to the city post-haste. Here's hoping they don't die, because that's a lot of materials that I really want, including what looks like 6 steam cores. Oh, 2 more idiots died. Also, because I now have the resources to, I am going to plant the core where it's going to be. As you can see, the core is definitely living up to its name, because just look at that thing.
The ball forms.
And while we're at it, we can play around with the tech tree and do things like, oh, I know, efficient fans. Reduce the coal use by 15% at the filtration plant.
I thought you said inefficient fans.
Well, while inefficient fans are a thing, I'd prefer efficient ones instead. Meanwhile, over here, this gathering post is happily gathering coal and steam cores for me.
I just thought of a dumb thing to say. But I'm not gonna say it.
Good, because that means you're maturing.
No, it just means that I don't have a good way to say it yet. Yeah, you're not gonna have much space in that area.
Oh, I know. It's an absolute tangled rat's nest of secondary buildings and all that stuff. But at the same time, I'm not exactly going for ultra-efficient, pretty buildings to lay out and all that sort of stuff that some people like, say, Sky Storm would do. Because, I mean...
You are building a cult. You've lost your privilege to do that.
Yeah, in this case, it is a cult. It is going to be absolutely fucking barmy at the best of times. Look at that. Only 1,220 wood there. 479 there. Keep on processing for me, boys. The big thing is that while I have 25 days worth of coal, I also have such a massive coal production that I don't really need any of it.
Watch out, because if you say that, you're gonna get...
Oh, I know, I am
Dang.
tempting Murphy.
Murphy a bitch.
Run faster, boys. Look, you see the frozen lake there already is iced over. And over there,
Yay.
snow-covered supplies iced over. And the small airship is about to be. So, I am glad I took the decision and executive call of saying, fuck it, run back home.
it takes me out of the game a bit when I look at the storm and it's radio away from the city. That's not how like storms work, but it's still neat, right? It's in an artistic sort of sense.
Well, in this case, it's the best way to describe the storm in this is that in Frostpunk in general is that it's actively malevolent. It is not something that is just a feat of nature. It is actively trying to kill people. And that's the only way I can really describe the unique storm phenomena created like stuff like in Endless Mode, where every 12 to 15 days it just sweeps in and wipes out all your progress on the map.
I'm just gonna turn on BFG division while I'm waiting.
I said it was actively malevolent, not that it's actively trying to fuck you specifically.
Too late.
Okay, so efficient fans have been upgraded. Redesign of the plants using more efficient aeration blowers. Cuts coal use 15%. Good. I am going to now get Advanced Supercharge because I can. Advanced Supercharge still uses 5 steam exchangers, but instantly advances work progress by 20%. This is obscenely good.
Time to rest. Remember
As you can see, our second support frame is only about 4 hours away from being finished, and it's only unhealthy, so that's pretty good. And then I have a massive whack of construction over here. Resource buildings and, of course, new housing.
Soon you'll have the people to do it too. Oh, when are they gonna come in anyway? Sonar?
The extra people, they are 13 to 19 hours away.
Okay, that's good.
Now,
We need people.
the thing here is that I have 464 people at here, of which 85 are children. But the big thing is that, barring the 30 people here working on the frame itself, which is a 24-hour operation, everyone else, well, except for the hunters, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 90 people total, all of those other spare hands can be used to build shit. So while I have 120 people, all told, basically sitting around with their thumbs up their butts, working, everyone else can actually get their thumbs out of their butts and build shit for me. Okay, 97% done the second support frame. And there, that's the support frame done. As you can see, you can have a pretty good idea of how the construction of the generator works. It's very much heavy duty in phases, and involves heavy use of scaffolds. I will have to wait until after the storm to get the core started. And just look at that snow crawling up those roofs. Poor houses.
You see, the building cannot be complete unless the snow is there, right? So they have to go shovel snow all the way from not on the roof to onto the roof.
Nah. In this case, it's that cold, the snow will accumulate. So this storm is running from the morning of day 47 until the morning of day 49. And we also have a permanent temperature loss at day 46. Temperature will drop to minus 50, which means the storm will be at minus 80, and the temperature rise at 49 will only bring it up to minus 50. Things are going to get nastier from here on out. In fact, it's gotten nasty enough that I should seriously consider just heavily working on building up the generator over the next session, because of the fact that otherwise things are going to end up collapsing due to the fact that it's just going to get that much colder.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming. Work shift begins. May the Lord save all workers from harm.
And Scouts Unit 3 has returned with 22 children, 14 engineers, 56 workers, 220 steel, 212 coal, 77 raw food, and 3 steam cores. First arrival, safe.
Sonar,
Yep,
you have another person who's hungry.
I know.
Why? You have so much goddamn food.
Because they take their sweet-ass time walking to the cookhouse to get food.
Oh my
Scout
god.
Unit 2 has returned. 211 coal, 106 raw food.
That's good.
And last Scout Unit coming in hot. I am going to take a moment to build another infirmary, actually. 3 idiots going to build from the engineering workshop that's doing stuff like, you know, figuring shit out. Oh, Scout Unit 4 has returned, 106 coal, 3 steam cores, 212 wood. Alright, and that's all of them safe. And, as you can see, that storm's coming in fast. If we just take a moment to pop over to our economy page here, we can see that we're producing 2,803 coal and consuming 975, of which the greediest fucker is probably the ventilation plant. Well, technically, coal will last for 18 days at this rate. I will turn off the ventilation plant for obvious reasons before as the storm hits. For wood, we are producing 906 a day. At the moment, the only issue we have is a steam sawmill that only has 2 idiots being absent. Steelworks, as you can see, we only have the 2 steelworks, and we only have the 2 options for the construction. We have 1 idiot going to build, so they're not running at full efficiency, but hey, 430 steel a day, not bad. Food processing, we gain 540 a day. We create 1,080 a day. We consume 541 a day. We're doing pretty good for that.
Very good for that.
Healthcare-wise, we have 11 citizens in treatment, 2 idiots died yesterday, but almost all of our healthcare is at stupidly powerful, ranging about 162% to 156% efficiency. This is the advantage of working near shrines, having the medical post upgrade, and having kids helping out, or the infirmary checklists and kids helping out, respectively. As you can see by this list, the green bar says, hey, look, we have people being healed better than we have people getting sick. As for housing, we have 64 vacant beds, of which 60 are in care houses. We will need to build more housing in very short order, because we have 56 houses and 556 people. So, with that in mind, we actually need to build, well, housing. Gee, I wonder why.
Because people that probably when they sleep in snow.
Also, as a result, I will need to build child shelters. So let's just drop 2 in there. That should get the nosy lumps off my arse. Because that should wrangle an extra 30 children. Oh, advanced supercharge is finished. Let's see what we can do next. And yes, I should probably consider starting on hothouses eventually, but I'm lazy. So, heating is complete. Exploration and industry, complete. Generator construction is almost complete. It just has safety improvements and the ability to add more ventilation plants. Food, health, and shelter. Here's the big one. Infirmary mechanization. Infirmaries will employ fewer people. 5 engineers less, so instead of 10 engineers, you only need 5 there. Let's get that going. As a result, I can start getting rid of medical posts. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Because with those 3 medical posts gone, that's, well, 30 people less I can heal at a time. But the infirmaries can heal up to 20 people at a time, so ha ha ha. And then I can just drop in 3 houses into where they were. In fact, I'm going to be a cheesy bastard and build 2 more infirmaries, if at all possible. Oh, there's a minor interference there, so just 1 more for now. Actually, hang on a second, I'll just cancel that. Last moment to finish this stage. Storm's almost here. When it hits, all progress on current stage construction will be lost. Only way to avoid this is finishing the stage in the next few hours before the storm. Rushed construction to achieve this, but it'll cause problems with the finished generators put to use. Yep, nope, not gonna do that. I could, but I won't. So I cheated a little bit. By shoving this infirmary over, I compressed this one's space so it's right up against the edge of the road. But as a result, I will have, well, 2 new infirmaries being built. I currently have only 5 people sick, 3 people hungry because they're idiots, and 89 people free. For hope, I have 185 people working near a shrine, 306 people living near a house of prayer and a temple, which means I actually need a couple more children's creches, or whatever you want to call them. Or I could have done the smart option and just said, you know what, fuck it, kids are working now. And let the kids die in accidents, because I'm an asshole. I'm also following up with 2 new bridges, one to this little spit of land here with some extra wood, one to this spit of land here, which is going to be incredibly useful for things like, say, infrastructure, housing, all that sort of stuff, while every other area can be used for healthcare and shit. Just doing a quick double check for areas where shrines might be of use. Looks to be all clear and happy, so I am, well, except for the sawmill, but we don't care about that sawmill because it's almost done anyway. In fact, I have enough steel that I could build a 3rd bridge, either out to here with its final coal mine, or out to here with its steam core and wood. And that would be all the bridges on the map available. So, hey, small achievement in that regard, right? And I've just turned off the construction hub around the generator core because, well, it is going to get nasty in short order, and I'm going to save myself some extra coal. It is 3:38 in the morning, and the storm is arriving in about 5 hours. Well, 4 hours actually, but technicalities. So, survive the storm. Resolves in 2 days and 1 hour. Things are gonna get hairy around here. There's 107 children gallivanting about, and I hope all of them freeze.
Cold is coming.
It is now minus 80.
That's a lot of 80.
As you can see, every house is very cold. They're not freezing, but they're very cold. This is concerning, for obvious reason. I immediately turned on the heaters in the infirmaries. So, as you can see by the breakdown, -6 penalty due to the weather, +2 to building insulation, +3 to heater, +2 to healthcare insulation technology. So, 3, 5, 7. This puts the infirmary at
Something better than
livable
nothing.
instead of the default temperature of chilly. Needless to say, it is still fucking cold. As the storm hits, the beacon is drawn down on its cables to prevent it from being damaged.
Go to work. Thought
And with the beacon down, we can no longer see into Frostland to see how things are going. We have a couple of stragglers here with the Hunter's Zeppelins rolling in. And a tip from a believer being a cultist, because cultists are cultists. So, right now, we have 8 people being treated. We have a treatment capacity of, well, 120 people at a time, maximum. Our cookhouse here is somehow... Oh, wait. That's why there's no people working in it at the moment. But the cookhouse at the moment will be bloody cold to work in. So, let's see what we can do about fixing that. That's very strange. The heater is on, but it says too cold. This building must be chilly inside to work. Oh, kids are helping medical facilities. That's why. They're not actually in the shelters. So all of the Zeppelins are back in from their trip outside to go hunting, and as you can see, the Hunter Zeppelins have some variety to them, though they're mostly tubular, so make all the dick jokes you want. Everyone else does.
No, thank you.
And new upgrade for the infirmary is done. Infirmary mechanization is now complete, so huzzah to that. We could do some resource shenanigans, like finishing off efficient gathering, getting the coal thumper research completed, and dealing with the charcoal kiln. But instead, I think I will finish off the ventilation plant research. It's never going to be used, but it's nice to do anyway. And the generator, incomplete as it is already posing to be a striking figure in the center of the town. As much as I want to complete it immediately, it's just not a safe idea. And amputations are starting. So let's bump our stockpile up to 40 prostheses in total.
That kind of reminds me of horse.
Hang on a second, I heard something. There we are. So, public penance, choice or duty? Group preachers is here to talk to you about the public penance law. They think it goes too far. We all agree that penance is a choice, not a duty. You cannot force people towards the truth. It must grow freely in their hearts. Yeah. Either I know what's right, or I will consider their words. Well, I'm not that much of a jackass, so let's bump hope a bit. I already have 43 people being treated in first aid stations, 7 people are freezing because they are all stupid, and 2 amputees. This is weird. Why are the You know, I think I actually found a small bug. It turns out that the cookhouse, for whatever reason, when it hits -80, it refuses to operate. So I'm just going to turn them off. Because for whatever reason, the heaters aren't working.
Today's labor is done.
I'll be back in a bit.
Have fun. Ah, beating the evil out of people. Don't you love religion? And a couple more amputees for the pile. Oh well, too bad for them. Swear to God, it's like everyone's immune system just all decided to stop spontaneously as soon as it got this cold. Though, to be fair, I can't blame them. At minus 79 degrees Celsius, carbon dioxide starts to sublimate into a solid instead of a gas. So as a result, as soon as people try to breathe, they get a mouthful of carbon dioxide instead of air. And then they have to chew it because dry ice is evil. I now have 44 people in palliative care, 1 person is an amputee, 330 workers, 119 engineers, way too many children to tolerate, and 117 people are freezing, so they are unable to work as a result, because, well, it's kind of understandable. All of those people that are claiming to be freezing have all tried to go to work, not realizing that there's a big giant fucking storm on.
A new workday starts in May of dawn.
I'm back.
And welcome back. So, this seems to have been probably the glitchiest storm I have ever encountered, and it's still going for the rest of this day. So, shenanigans and fuckery
Right.
aside.
Are we talking about the reboot glitch or the software development bullshit glitch?
Software development bullshit glitch.
Okay, okay.
I mean, let's be fair, I'm not mad, it's just very much a case of a head scratcher, because this game is normally absolutely rock solid. And
What
yet,
happened?
well, I can't really explain it, but basically, all of these buildings that are disabled by the storm, and the children's creches, and the cookhouses, are all complaining that they're too cold and can't be operated, which is understandable, but the AI still thinks that the buildings are operating. And so they send people there, and then people get sick, And as a result, I have 120 people being treated, with 37 more sick outside, and 8 people freezing at work. And oh look, bump from that to 50, from 37 people waiting for treatment to 55, and 8 gravely sick. So that's interesting in the goddammit game. What the hell? The list. Man has brought us a long list of names titled A Register of Infidels, Buggers, Seducers, Strumpets, and Other Wrongdoers. He swore on his soul that his information was accurate and that all he wants is for them to repent and see the truth. These people shall repent, discontent will fall, hope will fall, or ignore this man.
Ignore the man.
I will ignore him. I'm ignoring him. Because basically it's very much a matter of this man is complaining that all of these people aren't sucking his dick.
Hello.
Oh there, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Good to hear. How you doing, Hazel?
I'm just as how's things going up in the city?
There are shenanigans going on, though it's shenanigans caused by coding instead of actual fuckery. So,
Oh.
the good type of shenanigans, I suppose you would say, or at least the less bad type. But the long and short of it is that I have a bunch of people being treated, a whole bunch of people getting sick real fast, 12 people being sick, 7 people freezing their asses off, and 1 amputee at the moment. And the storm will not end for another 15 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay. They're fucked.
Well, they're not fucked per se, but they're definitely not going to be happy.
Oh no, there are 9 people who are hungry.
And I'm just building up the 3rd coal mine because I can. Because I have completed every possible bridging endeavor in this area. So I will no longer have use of bridges in this game. I mean, to be fair, bridging is a great gimmick, but it's very much a matter of as soon as you have critical mass, it's no longer required. And look at that, I actually have enough coal to last this place for a month. So let's take a look and see what's going on here. I have 42 heaters operating at 860 coal a day, and I'm producing 2,462 coal a day. So I'm in pretty good hands. As you can see, my advanced coal mines are stupidly powerful at 1,296 a pop.
You have so much coal?
Yep, and I
Give me a
have
second.
6 coal piles left to scavenge.
Time to rest. Remember those who work overtime in your prayers.
So, the storm will resolve in 12 hours. As you can see, the people aren't exactly happy at the moment, but sucks to be them right now. I am tired of their bullshit. I'm going to be needing a lot of steel composites in short order.
How do you make them? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, so this is just preliminary planning, I guess you would say, for when the storm cracks off in shortly.
Your disco ball is looking pretty in the middle of being built.
Yeah, that's because it still needs to be built. And that means I need to crawl about 115 people out of the sick bed and back onto the job. And 82 people are freezing because they're idiots. And yet another amputee, because fuck me.
I'll be back in a bit. I'm feeling peckish.
Oh, don't peck too hard, you might hurt yourself.
Let me tell you about birds.
Bird.
Yeah, basically. I hate birds.
Well, who doesn't hate birds?
Weird people.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be a planet squawk.
I still don't. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the reference, even though I know you told me before.
That's okay. You can wait and be patient. Because I'm a jerk like that.
One day. I do have Battletech, I just don't have a computer I'm willing to download it onto.
You mean you don't have a computer powerful enough to actually play it?
That too. But no, it's both of them.
And it's only 2 hours away from the end of the storm. It's still minus 80 outside. There's a bit of discontent going on because people are complaining about it being cold and freezing, and there's dangerous working conditions and a lack of medical care, and wah wah wah. Fuck off. Every last one of these impatient chucklefucks can kiss my dick 24/7. And I am immediately pausing the game for one reason and one reason only, so I can get things sorted. Okay, you. Let's set you to extended working hours. So, the foundry is unhealthy, the machine shop is unhealthy, the core is dangerous, profiles manufacture is harmful. Profiles manufacture is on with people building profiles. The foundry is on with people building composites. And so, bam, 50 people working in the core for 24 hours, and protective structure is on. And Pause once more. Click this. Let's take a look at the damage. We have 120 people being treated. We have 85 people sick, 2 of them gravely sick. We have 1 amputee. They'll live. We can turn the heater off there. We can turn the heater off there. And 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 let's send our scouts out. "24, 24, and 23 hours respectively to their destinations. We have 25 sick absences at the core, but our discontent is already dropping. Ah, fuck! Fuck, 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 fuck.
What's wrong?
The weather has brought an effect. Airborne ice crystals penetrated the lubrication systems of all steam cores. The efficiency of all buildings with steam cores and automatons will be reduced by 90%.
Ooh.
This hazard will resolve in 5 days and 23 hours. All of a sudden we went from a few thousand coal a day to 940 coal a day. We're consuming 1,230 coal a day. Most of that is heaters, by the way. Thankfully, gathering posts are picking up the slack. So, as you can see, by our efficiency breakdown on our advanced coal mine. Current efficiency, 29%. 2 people are absent because they're in treatment. So, at full capacity it'd be maybe 30%. 1 employee delivers 10% of that. Plus 2% for working near a shrine. So normally it'd be 1%, so 10% base. Plus 2% for working near a shrine, 30%. Plus the active multipliers of coal mining optimization, coal mining rationalization. Final base efficiency of 35-ish. The wall drills are just as badly screwed, because current efficiency, 30%. There is nothing else to say about that. The sawmills are happy, though. The steelworks, they're doing good because they don't use steam cores. Food processing, yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna have to get a whole bunch of people back into food processing shortly, though. Health status, as you can see, a whole bunch of people got really stupidly sick, and treatment is just spiked. Housing conditions. We have 94 vacant beds, 8 of which are vacant in care houses. And we still have cultists. They're my cultists, so I'm not too cranky, but they're still cultists. Now, thankfully, because of this massive stockpile of coal I have, 21,000, I don't really have to worry all that much, but it's still a pain in the dick. So, our first priority at the moment is getting the core built. Our current efficiency is 53%, of which 28 people are missing, of which 26 people are going to treatment and 2 people are hungry. And the steam coal thumper has finally been researched. Let's add the coal thumper injectors to make them produce more coal piles faster, but we can ignore that. And 2 idiots died at the workspace. Oh well. There is an achievement for building a generator without actually having it fully safe, so, what the hell, right?
Go for the achievement.
Yeah, I just can't remember if it's exclusively for the, well, you know, usual shenanigans or not. But that's just
Also, I
my own
have
faulty memory.
2 characters with 69 health.
Nice.
Okay.
And this steam sawmill is inoperative because it's run out of wood, so it can be deleted. Just boop, gone. Okay, a grumpy old man. Crowd has dragged an old man from his house. They're going to force him to submit to public penance. Repent, you wretch! Maybe this will teach you to keep your mug shut. The man is known for his sharp tongue, but we have no reason to doubt his piety and loyalty. Disperse the crowd. Discontent will rise slightly, but I'm not going to have an old man beaten because he's a salty old man. So the Corps is still working on that, but with 27 people absent due to being in treatment, it's going to be a while. This is a kick in the teeth, let's be honest. And that's done, so I don't have to worry about that. And hey, I got more steam cores. Yay! And coal thumper injectors are now completed, leaving only the charcoal kiln and its upgrades in resources to research. Might as well. The charcoal kiln is essentially, well, I would say virtually useless, but some people like it for some reason. Plus, there is an achievement for utilizing it. The long and short of it is that it converts 70 wood to 210 coal every workday. That is nothing. We still have a total of 179 people sick, and it's taking its bloody sweet time here. So let's just accelerate a little bit and see the work going. Needed to turn that back on. Whoops. And efficiency is now up to 72, as only 20 people are now absent and more people are getting healed. Yay! So, my use of infirmaries has bit me in the ass. Because as you can see, my infirmaries are only working at, well, 35% efficiency because of the fact that they use steam cores to stay warm. So that just really chewed on my arse like you would not believe. So let's, well, break out the medical post once more, even if we don't want to, because, well, on me. that'll keep things quiet for a while. And our scouts have reached their first destination, Frozen Pond and Red Tent. The Red Tent is 16 hours away, Frozen Pond is 21 hours away, tent first. A large red tent, not covered in snow, so one must be keeping it clear to prevent it from collapsing. And the core is, well, getting up there in efficiency finally, because there's only 12 people sick now, which is nice. But it's only half done. So let's take a little bit longer, see how this goes. Scouts reaches a ruined hut, distinct spot, let's see what we find. Oh, broken tree, nothing to do here. Onwards we go. And over here at the frozen lake, also a landmark. They found a large pit, so let's see what's there. Good landmark until it gets filled in. Now, all of these first aid tents are going to be abused for the obvious reason of, well, I'm a cheeky bastard. And the efficiency went from... Oh, god damn it. Look at all those idiots going out and coming back and going out to eat. Ah, well. Can't have everything, can we? And there. And that'll get the remaining sickies off my ass, because that's, well, 50 more beds. This little beastie, however, is now in dangerous mode because of the fact that the protective structures cooldown has expired. The effect has expired because it only lasts for 24 hours, but the cooldown is 36 hours. And I can no longer use that on it, but instead I'll just extend working hours because I'm an asshole. Steam core seizing really is one of the most brutal hazards I've ever encountered in this game, and it shows. I now have 12 corpses in my cemetery. Charcoal kiln thermostat produces 33% more coal, so at 70 wood to 210 coal, bit of math, 33% more of 210, so 21 times 3 is 63, total of about 275, I think. And one of the coal piles is finally depleted. Yay. Leaving 48 coal and 2 steam cores left at this gathering post.
Hey, Grom.
How you doing?
Did B-Man leave?
I think he either left or he disappeared on his own way. Several tents hidden from view in the pit. Who could have built a camp here? Some sort of research outpost and now abandoned. We'll take what we can and move on. That is a big pit. Look at that. That is huge.
Where is it? Around 15 minutes around.
Well, you'll see in the image, so it's pretty sizable. 84 steel, though, that's always nice to have. And it leads to a rock formation 24 hours away, or into Moist Rock. So let's head to the rock formation because it looks further away. I'm just going to accelerate the time frame a little bit, just killing time, so to speak. Destroyed steam core transport is now depleted.
Hello, B-Man.
It's me.
There's time for harvest and time for sleep.
Oh shit.
And down here, shit, we have survivors. Okay, one of the engineers explains their party is split to search for a habitable place, but they lost contact with the others in time before their supplies ran out. 15 engineers, 14 kids, 33 workers. Let's drag them on.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the game cutscene. Because it's basically Karma biting a character in the ass very hard.
Well, to be fair, karma should always bite people in the ass. It's what what it does. If karma didn't bite people in the ass, you'd worry about what it's planning, you know?
Yeah.
And karma always has a plan to make people suffer in the most entertaining ways possible. Usually in ways that make other people go, ooh, that's gonna sting. And that's just the way it should be. Right, my friend?
I'm not your friend, guy.
That's an ancient meme and I ignore it. Okay, so as you can see, the core is currently 82% done. And thankfully, our pile of sickies is steadily shrinking, which is nice. How the hell is this 0% efficiency? Oh, 2 idiots. That's why. The 2 people that are supposed to be working at this medical post are in treatment.
Be back in a bit.
Okay, broken trees found. Found a wrecked vehicle and a fissured rock nearby. So, let's see what we can do. Wrecked vehicle, 16 hours away. Looks like shape sticking out of the snow. Let's head there. The fissured rock is another waypoint. So let's just kill some time via a little bit of compression. Because it's very much late stage survivability and shenanigans going on here. Now at this point, these houses are going to be the main housing location of my entire facility, I suppose.
Okay, the fifth character that you get is actually endearing.
Ah, that sounds interesting. I mean,
He's
push comes to
basically
shove, I'm very likely to never play the Fire Emblem series, so it's nice to hear about.
It's Dragon Quest. It's basically a jester that seems to have way more backstory than just being a jester.
Ah, so they're a Chester.
Yeah.
That's an old joke, courtesy of some bad references from when I was much younger. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. We got 20 people going to eat, 4 people in treatment. Well, 4 people going to treatment, 8 people in treatment.
Bundle up. It's getting colder.
And now we can just push on for that last few ticks to get the core finished.
Go to work. Lord, be with us as we labor today.
Another cult.
I like the pun that they made it here in the game. There's an item that they call the rainbow, but it's clear that is a key to the bridge of rainbows.
So my estimate was right. The coal upgrade for the charcoal kiln produces 280 coal for every 70 wood. So that's approximately
Neat.
4 coal for every wood. It's still not worth it.
Oh. Boo then.
Yes, boo it hard. Boo. Boo, I say.
Ooh.
Okay, now you're just being a cheeky shit.
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh,
God dang it.
a misused tool exploded, causing fire in the construction site. There are no fatalities and the fire was put out before it spread, but some workers are poisoned by fumes. This accident happened because Profile's manufacturer workplace safety is dangerous. This is unfortunate. I will just have to pause work at the Profile's manufacturer until I can upgrade its safety. At the core, we have a total of 7 people in treatment, so 43 people are doing the work of 50 with better than 100% efficiency. And huzzah! Assembling the generator, the 2 parts of the thermal hull which makes up the central part of the core. After it's done, the generator will be ready. This is the final step. 25 steam exchangers and 10 steel composites. Each.
Hello. Oh, somebody left.
End of the toxic danger. With the core finished, we are able to seal the whole structure. Toxic gases venting from the source can no longer reach the surface, so we don't have to worry about them. As a result, I can disable the ventilation plant entirely. I don't need it anymore. Nor will I need Profiles manufacture. And I'm going to keep the foundry on for a bit. Scouts 3 return to the city with 14 children, 15 engineers, 33 workers. Now I'm gonna punt those Chico fuckers right back out and get them going.
I got a crossbow that is basically a quest, not a weapon, but a quest item.
Yeah, that can happen at times. And okay, so with that completed, I now just have one thing left in the resources technology tree, efficient gathering. So let's get that done.
Sorry if I'm bothering you.
Oh, that's perfectly alright. Wrecked vehicle. Steam exchanges stealing coal. Let's see what we find. We found
Have you
a
finished your stream with
Overlord?
Overlord?
Not yet.
No.
I just felt like playing a chill game.
Okay. I'm also taking a chill time. I should be playing more, but now I busy.
And these scouts have reached the rock formation, so let's explore and see what they find. Okay, nothing of value. We may be able to reach some more promising locations. A circle of stones and an uprooted tree are nearby. The uprooted tree looms on the horizon 21 hours away. The circle of stones is 22 hours away. So let's go to the uprooted tree first, because again, it is further towards the edge of the map, which means it is the first priority for the storm. I currently have 59,600 gravely, 15 people that are hungry, and 170 people actually being treated.
Work is over for today. There's time for harvest and time for sleep.
So, a question regarding Frostpunk. Is Fate always better than the other option? I don't
No.
know what the name is.
Faith and Order are roughly equal in their evil.
Okay. Good to know. Well. Okay, Kat. I'm certain I'll have a cutscene here. Let me handle it, and then we can talk. There you go.
Well, at the moment, with the shenanigans and fuckery going on at day 52 now, I think this is about time for me to call the stream. I've had great fun dealing with the weird shenanigans in the most recent storm, and it's just a matter of, well, kind of scratching my head, shrugging and smiling, because life happens like that sometimes. And weird shit is weird shit, so we should expect that. Anyway, it's always good to chat with people, it's always good to have fun with you guys, and, well, take care of yourselves. I hope you have a good evening. Drive safe if you plan on driving anywhere. And in general, stay healthy. Thank you very much for your time.
You too, Grump. See you later.